everyone, I'm Katie Slatter, your host for today's Health Update program on backpack safety, produced by the Indian Hill Television Network. My guest today is Dr. Matt Finke of Finke Family Chiropractic in Madeira. He's joining us today to discuss chiropractic and backpack safety issues. Hello, Dr. Matt, and welcome to our show today.
Hi, Katie. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Sure. So tell us, what is chiropractic?
Chiropractic. Chiropractic is basically a profession, and the easiest way to describe it to you, I guess, Katie, is to talk about what we call the three primary colors of chiropractic. We know about the primary colors in art. In chiropractic, the way I describe it to people is with three primary colors. The first primary color of chiropractic is what we call innate intelligence. That being, it's an inborn intelligence that runs functions of your body, things that you normally don't think about on a daily basis. Things like your heartbeat, lungs breathing, digestion, things like that are controlled by your innate intelligence. When this innate intelligence gets interfered with, and especially when it happens in the spine, that's what we call a vertebral subluxation, that being the second primary color. Basically, a vertebral subluxation is a bone of the spine that gets misaligned or stuck out of place, and it puts pressure on the spinal cord itself or the nerves that come off the spinal cord. And like I said, it interferes with that innate intelligence or the messages the brain's trying to send to the body. The third primary color of chiropractic is what we call the chiropractic adjustment. Basically, a chiropractic adjustment is when I use my hands and try to find that subluxation in the spine, then as gently as possible, correct it. And when that happens, it releases the pressure off the nerve system and allows the innate intelligence to flow through the body more efficiently.
Okay. What does a chiropractor do?
A chiropractor, well, basically my job as a chiropractor is pretty simple to explain. All I do is try to find those subluxations in the spine. If I find one, correct it. Okay. A better way for me to explain to you what I do is I like to use this poster here, this little picture here. This is a picture of the brain. This is the spinal cord, and let's say down here would be the rest of your body. Let's use you for an example. So in order for your body to function properly, or in order for you to be as healthy as possible, every cell of your body has to have good nerve supply coming from the brain. Okay, so the way that this works is the brain sends messages to the body and back, up and down in the system like this, real fast and real quick. Now what can happen, like I mentioned, is that the spine can get injured. All right, and that's the subluxation. When the spine gets injured, the bones of the spine get misaligned, and then they put pressure on the nerve system. All right, so when that happens, instead of the messages going like this, they go like this. It's like static on a cell phone. I'm sure you got static before. It's just a bad connection. My job as a chiropractor is to try to find out if I can find that subluxation in there, and like I mentioned, as gently as possible, get it corrected so we can reestablish this system so it works like that again. Does that make sense? That's pretty much what I do as a chiropractor.
So what does a spinal adjustment do?
The spinal adjustment, like I mentioned earlier, it corrects the subluxation in the spine, it repositions that bone, takes the pressure off the nervous system so that communication line can be reestablished again.
And what kind of people get their spines adjusted?
Wow, a lot of different kinds of people, wide variety of people. My youngest patient in the office is 3 weeks old. My oldest patient in the office is 96, so I take care of, we have a family practice. We take care of all kinds of family members. They come in for different problems. Some of the more I guess, recognizable names of people who have had chiropractic care, Tiger Woods, the best golfer in the world, he has a chiropractor. Lance Armstrong, who just won the Tour de France a month ago, he had a chiropractor with him while he was cycling around France. Emmitt Smith, professional football player, is going to be the all-time leading NFL rusher at the end of the season. He gets a chiropractic adjustment every single week, maybe 2 or 3 during the season, depending on how bad he gets banged up. But quite a wide variety of people get chiropractic care nowadays.
And why would all these people need to get their spine adjusted?
Well, for a lot of different reasons. The biggest reason being, I guess, is that a lot of these people realize that when their nervous system is free from any blockages or any interference or those subluxations that we talked about, their bodies just function better, and they are able to, I guess, reach a level of performance that's better than anything they've ever done before. And with some of the other younger kids that we take care of, we see, their mothers will bring them in for things like ear infections or asthma or things like that, and they get great results from chiropractic care.
How else would their spines get injured?
There's 3 basically simple ways that we say that subluxations can occur or the spine gets injured, and we call those the 3 stresses. The first of which is what's called chemical stress. Chemical stress is things like junk food or like soda pop, candy bars, even things like cigarette smoking and drinking alcohol or taking drugs. Those are all chemical stresses to the body. The second stress is what we call emotional or mental stress. And everybody, that's when usually when you think of the term stress, is I'm stressed out. Yourself taking tests, you're stressing out studying for the test or taking exams or getting ready for a final or something like that, or a project due. Those are emotional or mental stresses. The last stress is what we call a physical stress, and that's probably the most recognizable. People that are in accidents or have falls or injuries or things like that would be put in the category of physical stress. And that's really where it comes into play with the backpack safety issue, is that these physical stresses to the spine from the heavy backpacks or the improperly carried backpacks put a lot of damage to the spine itself.
So what are your recommendations for our students in regards to carrying a backpack safely?
Well, the main recommendation, and we'll take a look at the slides here that we have, the main recommendation is that the maximum backpack load should never exceed 15% of your total body weight. You can see the numbers on the chart there, and just the first one says, as it says, if you weighed 40 pounds, you can safely carry up to six pounds in your backpack, all right? Probably something that towards the high school students, if you weigh about 120 pounds, you can safely carry about 18 pounds in your backpack.
Okay.
So anything over 15% of your body weight starts to get a little heavy there. When it comes to tips to wear in your backpack properly, we'll go over some of those. The first one is to distribute the weight evenly. Place your heavier items, your bigger books, on the bottom of your backpack, and what that does is it keeps the weight off of your shoulders, and it helps you maintain a better posture. It helps you stand up straighter, which is good for spinal hygiene and for spinal health. When you're wearing your backpack, wear both straps. When you only use one strap, it shifts the weight of the backpack to one side, and that can lead to, like I said, neck problems, muscle spasms, low back discomfort, and also improper walking. The next tip that we have is use bags with heavily padded shoulder straps. A lot of the new bags out there have these, but the reason why we recommend that is when you have non-padded straps, they kind of dig into your shoulders, and they cause a lot of pain and discomfort and constrain some of the muscles in the shoulders as well. The next tip, choose a bag with a lumbar cushion. The extra cushion down in that lower part of the bag in the lumbar region of your spine, the cushion helps to redistribute the weight to the legs, but it also creates a fulcrum that, again, it helps to facilitate better posture, helps you stand up straighter again. The last two tips that I have is, lift your backpack right. Bend at your knees when you're lifting up a heavy backpack. Don't just bend over at the waist and grab it by one arm and heave it onto your back, but bend your knees and pick it up right. And lastly, only carry what you need. Only take home the books that you need that are absolutely necessary, because every item that you add in your backpack is going to add weight to it. So those are the tips that we have, and I see that you brought your backpack here, so
Yes.
we're going to use your backpack as an example.
Pretty
And,
hefty.
Very hefty. You got a lot of weight in here,
Yeah.
We could weigh it. I don't have a scale with me, but we could weigh it. But this is a pretty nice backpack. I mean, it's got the padded shoulder straps right here, which is good. You actually got some extra padding in this area, some down here at the lumbar area as well, which is what we talked about earlier. That'll help help to redistribute that weight. One thing yours has is this waistband here. Which is really good because when it's heavy like this, you can tie this around your waist, and it helps to put the weight in the proper place on that small of your back, where your lower back, where the muscles and where that weight needs to be.
Okay.
So that's something that's good on this pack. Another thing when it comes to the straps is that when you're wearing your backpack, you want to tighten the straps up enough so that the weight is right up on your back. You don't want them to hang real heavy and loose so the weight of your backpack is all the way down on your backside. But tighten them up so it's up on your back, and that weight is right on your lower back, right above your hips. And you should be in good shape to go, and you won't have any problems. But this is a nice pack. I mean, you got a lot of weight in here, but it's a pretty good pack.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Matt, for joining me today
My
in our
pleasure.
program and sharing your expertise in the most important area of personal health for school-age students. I sure hope you all join me next time for another edition of our Health Update program. From the Indian Hill Television Network, I'm Katie Slattery. See you next time.
Very good.